Just yesterday, a friend called me having a panic attack in her car because her boyfriend had called her an hour before and said that he loved her, all of these nice things, and that his family can't wait to meet her for Thanksgiving. An hour and a half later, and this is no exaggeration on the timeline, called her back and said that he's a high-value man and that he can do better than her, but she will never be able to do better than him, and that it's over, and then hung up before she could even say anything.
Translation: his family saw who he wanted to bring over for Thanksgiving and threatened to disown him.
I've had friends where their date will leave in the middle of the date while they're in the bathroom. I've had friends whose boyfriends will break up with them on their birthday, on days of death, on graduation. Boyfriends taking other girls on their birthday trip.
So, you're telling me they picked the moment to do emotionally hurtful things when they knew it would hurt the most?
Just like a woman.
Sweetie, women invented these kinds of things. The men you're talking about are just practicing gender equality.
Can someone tell me where I can find a decent, loyal, funny, good-looking guy around here?
Sure, you can find him back in 1998 when you were in your early 20s.
So here's this. These are the papers for divorce. And it's very sad. I don't understand how 8 years of trying my best to love somebody and fight for them and put up with so much abuse can just be wiped out with little papers.
Well, it's simple. You sign them.
And as much as I know that this needs to happen, it still hurts. Because I never wanted this. I actually did love him.
Every day, more lies.
And I know how can you love somebody that does those things to you? I don't know. I don't know why. Maybe I see brokenness in people, and I know that we can all be better people and heal if we want to. I'm sad. It's this. This is the dreams that I had for us as a family and as husband and wife, and these little pieces of paper, little flimsy pieces of paper, can break and end something that's so strong in somebody's heart.
You know, it's absolutely tragic when paper breaks up marriages. Maybe you lovely ladies should ban paper. Or maybe the truth is that paper is an inanimate object, just like a gun. It takes a person willingly using that object to ruin another person's life.
So, day one after filing. And I feel so sad. And I look around and I see, I just want to scream. Like, I see the Christmas trees that I put up and all this beautiful home
that your husband paid for,
and all my dreams I had for us. I just want to scream. I just want to run away. I don't want to see any of this.
Believe me, sweetie, your husband feels the same way.
And I'm sure, y'all are probably like, Corey, smile, get over it, but this is my page to heal and to be brutally honest about every piece of this journey.
Translation: my need for attention is so overwhelming, I'm gonna air out my personal problems on TikTok, hoping to get validation from internet strangers.
Pathetic.
And so much of me wishes that he'd be like, I'll change, I'll fix this, I love you, I'm sorry for all the things I said, you never deserved it, I'll never say that again, I'll pay attention to you, I'll communicate with you, I'll lose my anger. It's not going to change. But I guess I'm somebody that will always have hope, because not always have hope. Until the divorce is done, I'll always have hope.
Translation: this entire divorce is my way to leverage compliance out of him, and if he refuses to submit, I'll take him to the cleaners.
Man, that's messed up.
So I saw a comment, I deleted it, but I need to respond to it. Someone asked to hear my husband's side. So let me tell you, my husband's side.
Translation: I'm not actually gonna let him say his side, because that would make me look bad. So let me, the divorcing wife, tell his side, because that will make me look good.
Well, he loved me and gave me everything he had, and did everything in the world for me. And you know what? I have to tell you though, actually, to his credit, he did do so much for me.
I was wrong. You made yourself look bad anyway.
Just like a woman.
Except show me love and respect and attention and hold me and kiss me and look at me and communicate with me and try to have conflict resolution ever.
You know what, sweetie? If I would be the one earning an income large enough to afford paying for the kids and a stay-at-home wife and live in a big beautiful house, I wouldn't participate in conflict resolution either, because I would not tolerate conflict in my house.
He did everything in the world that money could do or he could physically do, but emotionally, he's been gone since month 2, and I happen to be pregnant.
I see. That's probably because around that time, the neediness and the emotional instability became evident. Newsflash, ladies, just because you're pregnant, it doesn't give you the right to use your husband as an emotional dumpster. Believe me, he's dealing with his own emotions, now being aware that he's on the hook for child support for the next 18 to 21 years. But just so you guys get it, here's what she wants from a man, aside from him doing everything for her financially and physically.
Or is there like a service of men or women, but for me it'd be man, that I could buy to just give me compliments all day and tell me he loves me and everything's gonna be okay and call me and check on me and like just build me the hell up?
Pathetic.
Weakness completely revolts me.
Hey y'all, it's Corey. And I'm finally ready. I know a lot of you were probably cringing that I gave him another chance. I spent the past year with the divorce filed, sitting in the court.
Hanging it over his head like the sword of Damocles. Seriously, bro, I cannot imagine living that dude's life.
An incident happened a few days ago where he had an iPad and he was holding it up saying he was going to bash my effing face in.
Interesting. I would like to see proof of this alleged incident, but personally, I don't think it happened. See, I find it unlikely that he would threaten violence, knowing that she's already filed for divorce and anything he does can be used against him.
So, I contacted the and we are getting a TPO started, and that's where I'm headed.
I see. So the cops are gonna kick the guy out of his own house just because she said so.
Is disgusting.
Now, don't get me wrong. If she has tangible proof that she's in danger, the authorities should issue that TPO and she should move out of the house. See, I am of the legal opinion that the punishment should fit the crime, and proof of the crime being committed is needed before punishing someone, and well, deposing a man of his property and rendering him homeless just because a woman made an allegation with no proof is not justice. It's a travesty.
I did it.
I didn't even get to tell everything. But I did it. I stood up for myself. I told the truth.
Shut up, bruh.
Sweetie, the truth is, you never deserved your husband. In real talk, getting married in the West nowadays is the legal and financial equivalent of putting your family jewels in a crocodile's mouth and expecting the crocodile not to bite them off.
Last week, the Washington Post's editorial board warned that increasing polarization, especially among Gen Z, means that American marriage is in trouble. Let's get into it. The column was ostensibly inspired by this data showing that there are more women identifying as liberal and more men identifying as conservative. And they spend quite a bit of time talking about it. almost lamenting, actually, the totally reasonable expectation that our partners will share our values. But 1 in 5 people, they tell us, will have to compromise. And even though the research tells us that they are likely to be unhappy in this scenario, apparently it is much worse if they end up single. While that is probably true for men, that they are better off being unhappy in marriage than they are staying single, that is certainly not the case for women. So already women are being asked to compromise their happiness for the benefit of men. That is not the only reason to be suspicious of this column, though. Because who are they blaming for this ideological divide? So glad you asked. We are told it is Democrats who refuse to compromise, and colleges are blamed for creating an unrealistic culture. The implication here being that it's women, it is leftists who are being unreasonable and will have to move toward the middle.
Well, that's definitely something that a conservative Republican publication would say. So, wait. You're telling me that even the Democrat media is saying that women and leftists are being unreasonable and they're the ones wrecking American marriage?
Ironic.
Never mind that feminist women may have very good reasons to not want to compromise on their values.
Well, comrade, to quote the top leftist in the world today, here's the deal.
I got hairy legs.
The majority of American women, even a lot of the liberal feminists, want the man that they're going to marry to adhere to the traditional American male role, which is in essence conservative.
Do you want to know one of the saddest realizations I recently had? Was that as a liberal woman, it is really hard to find a man who is willing to play the more traditional masculine role in the relationship in today's day and age, who is not a conservative. A man who wants to pay on the first date, who wants to open your door, who has that want and desire to take care of you and to provide, who is not a conservative. And obviously, as a liberal woman, I do want to be respected for my independence. And I do want to have my own autonomy in the relationship and not be confined or conform to the traditional female homemaker, childbearing role. And most of the men that I've dated who do have that more natural provider masculinity about them are normally conservative. So I don't really know what to do because I don't want to compromise my morals and values just to find a man. But am I asking to have my cake and eat it too?
No.
Now the problem is, the vast majority of conservative or moderately conservative American men don't want to marry a liberal feminist woman. They want a traditionally conservative woman. So, even if the liberal feminist women were to compromise on their values, as you put it, conservative men won't be wifing them up.
You're goddamn right.
Now, that's not the only problem, because you see, a lot of traditionally conservative men are starting to pay attention to the ongoing divorce culture in America, and a lot of them realize they might end up marrying a woman like the one featured at number 3 in today's episode.
Oh my god! Ah! Ah! Ah!
Also, if we look at what happened in Florida, when conservative women said they'd vote Democrat because Florida abolished lifetime alimony, I would argue that there really aren't a lot of conservative women for these guys to marry anyway. So, comrade, if American women are becoming more liberal and American men are becoming more conservative, here's what's gonna happen. More American women are gonna be single and childless, and more American men are gonna be passport bros.
And that's the bottom line, 'cause Stone Cold said so.